Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying with us. You are watching WION World is One with me, Raisha Sehgal, and this is Speed News, where we get you the latest from all across the globe in just a matter of 30-odd minutes. Let's get you started. President-elect Donald Trump has pushed back against claims that billionaire ally Elon Musk is exerting undue influence over the presidency. Trump reassured supporters in Phoenix, Arizona that Musk is not taking over the presidency despite his involvement in key decisions. The controversy surrounds Musk's role in blocking a bipartisan deal to continue government funding, which led to a chaotic week in Congress. However, lawmakers ultimately passed a spending bill on Saturday, December 21st, averting a government shutdown. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Mauricio Claver Carone as his special envoy to Latin America. Despite Claver Carone's controversial past, he was fired as the head of the Inter-American Bank in 2022 after an investigation revealed an alleged intimate relationship with a staffer and a hostile work environment. He denied the affair allegations. Claver Carone previously served in Trump's administration from 2017 to 2021 and was the first American to lead the Inter-American Development Bank. During his tenure, he attempted to shift power away from Argentina and Brazil, promoting a more inclusive approach for smaller countries. Trump praised Claver Carone's knowledge of the region and his ability to prioritize American interests. His new role aims to address pressing issues like migration and drug smuggling in Latin America. President-elect Donald Trump has tapped Mark Burnett, the producer behind his hit reality TV show The Apprentice, to serve as his administration's special envoy to the United Kingdom. Burnett, a renowned television producer and British native, is credited with creating several popular shows, including Survivor and Shark Tank. In his new role, Burnett will focus on strengthening diplomatic ties between the US and the UK, with emphasis on fostering trade, investment opportunities and cultural exchanges. President of Panama has reaffirmed his sovereignty over Panama Canal after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump threatened to retake the canal. He asserted that the canal and its surrounding areas belong to Panama and will remain under his control and the country's control. He further defended the passage rates, stating that they were not set arbitrarily. His statements come after Trump had threatened to retake control of the canal, citing excessive passage rates and warning of potential Chinese influence. A man has been arrested for allegedly setting a woman on fire on a New York City subway train, resulting in her death. According to the New York Police Department, the incident occurred on a stationary train at the Coney Island Avenue subway station in Brooklyn. There was no reported interaction between the victim and the suspect before the attack, and police believe the two did not know each other. The suspect fled the scene as police officers on patrol rushed to put out the fire. Later on Sunday, police arrested the suspect while he was riding the subway. Police are probing the motive behind the attack. Russian President Vladimir Putin met the Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico in the Kremlin on Sunday to discuss the impending expiration of a contract allowing Russian gas to transit through Ukraine. Slovakia relies heavily on Russian gas passing through Ukraine. Fico has criticized Ukrainian President Zelensky for refusing to extend the contract, which is set to expire at the end of the year. The meeting between Putin and Fico is seen as an attempt to secure alternative gas supply arrangements and potentially negotiate a new deal. Tens of thousands of demonstrators gathered in Belgrade, Serbia's capital, on Sunday to demand accountability from leaders regarding the tragic collapse of a train station and the roof in Novi, which took place last month, which claimed 15 lives. Now, this demonstration is a part of a broader nationwide movement that has been ongoing for over 7 weeks, with demonstrators accusing the Serbian government of corruption and not enough oversight. A devastating plane crash occurred in the tourist city of Gramado in Brazil when a small twin-engine plane carrying 10 people crashed into shops in the city's center, killing everyone on board. The crash also injured 17 people on the ground, with 12 still receiving hospital care, including 2 in critical condition. The plane took off from nearby Canela Airport around 9 a.m. local time and was headed to Jundiaí in Sao Paulo state under unfavorable weather conditions. The cause of the crash is currently being probed by the Aeronautical Accident Investigation and Prevention Center. The plane reportedly struck a building's chimney, the second floor of a house, and then crashed into a furniture store, with debris also reaching a nearby inn. Two weeks after seizing power in a sweeping offensive, Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Shara, says he will announce the new structure of the military as well as the defense ministry soon. Shara vowed that the government would not allow weapons outside state control, whether from the revolutionary factions or factions currently in the SDF area. The Philippine military said that it plans to acquire the U.S. Typhoon missile system to protect its maritime interests, some of which overlap with regional power China. The U.S. Army deployed the mid-range missile system in the northern Philippines earlier this year for annual joint military exercises with its long-time ally, but decided to leave it there despite criticism by Beijing that it was destabilizing to Asia. Since then, it has been used by Philippine forces to train for its operation. INS Tushil, India's newest guided missile stealth frigate, made a historic stop in London, marking a major milestone in the growing naval cooperation between the Indian Navy and the Royal Navy. This maiden passage to India aims to strengthen bilateral ties and help in the exchange of best practices between the two navies. Albania has announced a one-year ban on TikTok following the tragic killing of a teenager last month. The incident raised concerns over social media's impact on youth. Prime Minister Edi Rama confirmed the ban after meeting with the parents, groups and teachers as a part of a wider plan to make schools safer. The ban will block TikTok access for all users in the country. TikTok, responding to the news, requested clarification from the Albanian government, stating that there was no evidence that either the victim or the perpetrator used the app. Several other European nations have also introduced social media restrictions for children. Countries like Australia has approved social media ban for children under 16 last month. Artificial intelligence has achieved a breakthrough in whiskey aroma analysis. Now AI can accurately distinguish between US and Scottish whiskies. Researchers at the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany made an algorithm that can identify the 5 strongest aromatic notes in whiskey, outperforming expert panels. While human experts typically assess aromas like smoky, woody or caramel, AI offers a more consistent and efficient approach, ensuring quality and consistency across batches. Dr. Andreas Graskamp, who led the research, emphasized that AI does not replace human expertise but supports it by adding reliability and precision to the procedure. Scientists have made a groundbreaking discovery suggesting that robots could soon sense human emotions just by touching skin. A new study published in IEEE Axis reveals that skin conductance, how well skin conducts electricity, can reflect emotional states. This technique measures responses to sweat secretion triggered by nerve activity, unlike traditional methods like facial recognition, which can be inaccurate in certain conditions. Skin conductance provides a non-invasive way to detect emotions in real time. Researchers found that different emotions such as fear, happiness and humor each triggered unique skin conductance patterns, offering a promising new approach for emotional detection technology. Asian markets started the holiday-shortened Christmas peak on a positive note. Investors focused on the potential merger between Japanese automakers Honda and Nissan, with reports revealing that both the companies are entering discussions for a business integration, with the final agreement expected in June 2025. Japan's Nikkei 225 and South Korea's Kospi advanced over 1%. Meanwhile, mainland China's CSI 300, it remained flat, reflecting mixed investor sentiment in the region. The dollar traded steady after U.S. inflation data showed only a modest rise last month, easing some concerns about the pace of U.S. rate cuts next year. The yen trades near 156 per dollar, raising the possibility of intervention from the Bank of Japan. Investor sentiment was also lifted when a U.S. government shutdown was averted by Congress's passage of spending legislation early on Saturday. In a holiday-curtailed week, trading volumes are likely to thin out as the year-end approaches. Oil prices rose as lower than expected. U.S. inflation data revived hopes for further policy easing, although the outlook for a supply surplus next year weighed on the market. Brent crude futures rose 36 cents to $73.30 a barrel during early deals. Both oil benchmarks fell more than 2% last week on concerns about global economic growth and oil demand after the U.S. Central Bank signaled caution over further easing of monetary policy. Singapore's key consumer price gauge rose 1.9% in November on a yearly basis, lower than economists forecast and the smallest rise in nearly 3 years. The core inflation rate, which excludes private road transport and accommodation cost, was lower than the forecast made by economists. Slowing inflation has created room for Singapore's central bank to ease monetary policy in January, but experts have said that it might wait until later in 2025 on the back of incoming U.S. President Donald Trump's policies. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump indicated that he favored allowing TikTok to keep operating in the U.S. for at least a little while, saying he had received billions of views on the social media platform during his presidential campaign. Trump's comments before a crowd of conservative supporters in Phoenix, Arizona were one of the strongest signals yet that he opposes a potential exit of TikTok from the US market. It is unclear how Trump would go about undoing the TikTok order, which passed overwhelmingly in the Senate. UAE will host the marquee India versus Pakistan clash in the 2025 Champions Trophy. This after, host Pakistan conveyed to the International Cricket Council. This after, host Pakistan, like I mentioned, they told ICC that the Middle Eastern country will be the neutral venue for India's matches. The PCB statement did not confirm whether the games would take place in the UAE, with Dubai considered the likeliest venue. Host Pakistan are the defending champions and will reportedly kick off the tournament on the 19th of February against New Zealand in Karachi.